Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Garibaldi, and today is April 30th, and we're going to do our writing lesson today. Before we start, I want to give a shout out to my nephew Garrett. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Garrett. I love you. I hope you have a great day, buddy. All right, we're going to get started today. We're going to start with a book on Mayan about dolphins, and then we're going to use the information learned about dolphins to do our writing today. So let's go ahead. We'll pop on over to Mayan. I have the book ready for us, and we're going to read Oceans Alive, Dolphins. All right, and I'm going to read it to you today. And today you're going to get to choose either a fiction or a nonfiction to write about dolphins. But either way, you'll use the facts that we learned in this book to include it into your writing, okay? Because even if we write fiction, we can still include that informational piece in it too. Okay, so here we go. Oceans Alive, Dolphins. What are dolphins? Splash! Dolphins jump above the ocean waves. Dolphins are mammals. You guys, I love how this author started with onomatopoeia, which is the sound words. And this author started as like a hook to grab you as the reader. And it starts with splash. Dolphins jump above the ocean waves. That's a really cool way to start your writing. It kind of grabs the reader and says, ooh, I want to read more. This sounds fun. All right, let's keep going. Some dolphins are as small as a person. Some dolphins are bigger than a bus. Orcas are the biggest dolphin. Nice. Do you know the other name for an orca is called a killer whale? But they're actually dolphins. Nice. How dolphins swim. A dolphin tail has two fins called flukes. Dolphins move their tails up and down to swim. So this photograph of this dolphin has been labeled to show you what flukes are. So what are flukes? The dolphin's tail fins. Yeah, you're right. All right, and so let's keep reading. Do you know of another creature that moves its tail up and down to swim? If you were thinking mermaid, I was thinking that too. Mermaids can do that. Dolphins have two flippers. They use their flippers to turn and stop. Dolphins have smooth skin. It helps them slide through the water. So I'm thinking about this because this photograph did not include a label, but I'm thinking the dolphins have two flippers and they use their flippers to turn and stop. I'm thinking their flippers are here on the side of their body, and they would use those to kind of turn and stop. Have you guys ever gotten a chance to pet a dolphin? If you haven't, I know that SeaWorld sometimes, if you go to SeaWorld when they're open again, they have kind of some dolphin encounters where you can go, and if you touch them, they're really rubbery. They feel like a very slick rubber. It's very cool. Dolphins have a dorsal fin. It keeps them from rolling over when they swim. So they've included the label for this. So the fin that goes up on their back, like that, that is called their dorsal fin. Dolphins breathe air through a blowhole. So here's their blowhole. Dolphins have more than 100 sharp teeth. Wow, look at all their teeth they have. Amazing. How dolphins eat. They use their teeth to catch fish and other food. Dolphins hunt for food in groups called pods. So a group of dolphins is a pod of dolphins. Dolphin sounds. Dolphins make clicking sounds to find food. The sounds bounce off fish and make echoes. Like echolocation, you guys. Do you remember the other animal that we researched that used echolocation to find food? Yeah, that's amazing. Dolphins use echolocation to find their food too. Dolphins listen to the echoes. The echoes tell dolphins where the fish are. Dolphins make sounds to talk to each other. They bark, chirp, and whistle. Wow, that sounds really cool. Dolphins like to play. They flip and twist together in the air. Dolphins are friendly. They even have smiles on their faces. Nice. That's the end of our nonfiction book about dolphins today. So now let's think about some of the things that we learned about dolphins today. We learned that a group of dolphins is called a pod. They're friendly. They have very smooth, slick skin. They eat fish. There's lots of things we know about dolphins now. Let's use that information in our writing today. So I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, here we go. So you'll notice that I have not sketched and labeled yet today. I'm going to do a really quick sketch and label for dolphins. All right, and I'm going to draw the ocean and a boat. And here I am. The boat's going a little fast, so my hair is kind of blowing. All right. And then in the water, I'm going to draw coming out of the water, kind of jumping. And he has a little smile on his face. There's the dolphin jumping. Oh, let me draw his little flukes. Here we go. And this is there, perfect. All right, and then maybe draw a little tail because there's more than one and he's going into the water. I'm going to do a splash, 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 splash. That's his tail coming. He splashed in. All right, and that's basically it. So I'm going to say me, boat, O. And I know that the O and the A say O, boat. Right? When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. And then here is a pod of dolphins. Pod of dolphins. Now I could go back into that book and I could copy the word dolphins because I want to be able to spell that right. Okay, I always list those books in your recommended page on MyOn. So if you want to go into your MyOn account, click search and then recommended, and it will be in one of the book bundles that I list on there, okay? It'll be under the book bundle labeled for this week's reading. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with my story, and this is fiction because I guess it's a little bit of fiction and nonfiction, but it's going to be a narrative, so I'm going to tell you a story. Here we go. So I'm going to say, one day I went on a boat. One, and that's one of our sight words. One day, day. I went on a boat. We maybe we'll say we sailed. Sailed out to sea. One day I went on a boat. We sailed out to sea. While, so WH says I'll, and what makes the I say its name? A silent E. While we were sailing, we saw a pod of dolphins. Dolphins. Now notice this PH, oops, sorry, this PH sometimes, actually, well, PH says like F, so PH makes the F sound. So I know that that's a little bit more difficult when we're trying to read dolphins because our mouth always wants to make those individual sounds, but it's one of our hunks and chunks, PH. Okay, so one day I went on a boat. We sailed out to sea. While we were sailing, we saw a pod of dolphins. They were jumping. Let's turn the page. They were jumping out. O-U-T, O-U-T, get out of here, you bimbo bee. All right, so the out of the water. E-R-R at the end of a word, okay? So they were jumping out of the water and splashing around. Splashing around. Their air smooth, smooth, smooth. Look at my tongue when I say smooth. My tongue sticks out at the end. So at the end of smooth, there's the TH. There's smooth, sk, in, sparkled, sparkled, in the sun. It was a day I will never, E-R-R at the end of a word. I will never forget. Forget. It was a day I will never forget. All right, let me reread my writing today. Make sure I didn't miss anything. That happens sometimes. Here we go. One day I went on a boat. We sailed out to sea. While we were sailing, we saw a pod of dolphins. They were jumping out of the water and splashing around. Their smooth skin sparkled in the sun. It was a day I will never forget. All right, my friends. So now you can either choose to write a fiction story about dolphins or a nonfiction informational about dolphins. Some of you, my friends, are not doing your best writing. Okay, so the last few days when I've been checking your writing, I've been a little disappointed. Some of you are blowing me away. You guys are writing on the lines. You have finger spaces and capitals and punctuations in your writing, like a lot of sentences. Some of you are even writing like 8 or 9 sentences. Okay, that's amazing. But then I'm also getting some of you that are only giving me 2 sentences. That is not enough. Okay, your first grade teachers next year are wanting to see that you can write and you can write a lot, okay, and you can sustain that writing. I need from you a lot more than that. 2, 3 sentences is not enough anymore. Okay, do your best. When we left, before we had to leave for the quarantine, you guys were writing front and back pages. Okay, so I don't know if you're trying to trick your families into thinking that you can't do it, but I know the truth. I know that you were doing front and back before we left. Okay, so I want to see you doing your very best. Okay, no more 1 or 2 sentences. You need to really try. Okay, my friends, I wish you well. I love you. I miss you, and I hope to see you at our live lesson tomorrow, and do your best. Have a great day. Goodbye.